we are going to welcome our guest, Yolanda Smith, to the show. Welcome, Yolanda.
Thank
How
you. Thank
beautiful,
you.
how beautiful. Look at these beautiful colors that Yolanda have on. She just looks absolutely radiant. And Yolanda, I want to thank you. And I think I told you before we aired the show, you are our relaunch guest. And how appropriate. Only God can do stuff like that.
He
Only
doesn't make mistakes. He doesn't make mistakes.
he don't make mistakes. Only he can have a brand and business strategist on our show for the relaunch, where we are actually, this platform is used for all industry leaders, right?
Yes.
Industry leaders from around the world. So, and Yolanda, I do want you to introduce yourself. I can read your bio, but I just want you to tell our guests about you and what you do and where you're from. Where you actually, where we're zooming you in from.
Thank you so much. First of all, thank you so much for having me, Cassandra. This is a pleasure to be here. And I didn't know it was coming to the relaunch, so that makes it even extra special, right? Extra special. But my name is Yolanda M. Smith, and I'm coming from Indianapolis, Indiana. And so I have lived in the Midwest the majority of my life, and I am a corporate professional turned entrepreneur. So I spent more than 30 something years in the pharmaceutical industry in senior leadership. And I did a lot of coaching and mentoring throughout the years. And I discovered personal branding in 2013. And so I was a chair of a nonprofit group called Girl Talk. And I wanted to do more than just sit there and look good around the table giving orders. I wanted to roll up my sleeves and become a part of the solution. And that's how I discovered personal branding and started creating workshops. And before I knew it, the parents were attending the workshops and saying, "Oh my God, this is so good. We need this. If you give this to us, we could give this to our daughters." And that was sort of that aha moment where I realized maybe I'm onto something here. And I literally took it to another level and really started offering it to professionals. So today I would tell you I am a people growth leader and Brandthrupist with a passion to help coaches, entrepreneurs, and professionals to get and stay in business by unleashing the power of their personal brand so that they can have influence, impact, and income.
Wow. Didn't I tell you we had the right guest? We have the perfect guest for today. So Yolanda, I just want to thank you again. And I have a question because I heard a lot in that introduction, right?
Yes.
But why is it important for people's brands to represent truth and authenticity?
That's an excellent question because, I created something called the 5 essential steps of a powerful personal brand. And the first step is authenticity. And it is critical because, first of all, we must know who we are. It starts there. You see, oftentimes we've been in positions that we felt like we had to become what someone else wanted us to be so that we could have the success that we desired. But once we learn really who we are, how we align to our core values, our passion, our purpose, the things that God intended us to be walking in, when we get clear on that and we can walk in that truth, that makes all the difference in the world in terms of how we connect with other people, how people are able to see us and really be able to celebrate us, and how we're able to deliver the value that only we can bring to the people that we intend to serve.
Yes. And as you can see, I am authentically a grandma, and we had a special guest running here. As we were taping.
Welcome to the show. Look, just have a seat.
That is the truth about my life.
We can just have a seat.
You know when that happens, because as I can see, Yolanda, that's a good segue into the next question.
Okay.
How important it is for people to even bring some of their real life into their brand.
Yeah. So this is what I tell people all the time. Yeah, yes, you need to bring the real life. At the end of the day, if you're not comfortable bringing your experiences, your expertise, your culture, your true self, and helping people understand exactly who you are, right? Opening up enough. Sometimes we can be so guarded, but having that ability to open up just a little bit so that people can have a lens into our lives. The fact that you're a grandmother, the fact that we may have different hobbies and things that interest us that wouldn't necessarily be talked about in the workplace, having the opportunity to let people in and let them feel like they know us allows the magic to happen. Because when people feel like they know you, when they feel like they know your story and they connect with you, those are the people that are going to nominate you, sponsor you, promote you, hire you. Heck, they'll even marry you and loan you money. It doesn't get better than that.
You know what? That is so good. Yolanda, you know what? As I think about brand, I said, let me back it up a little. You know, what's let's just say, elementary definition for a brand, or, why is it important for someone, especially someone that is building, let's just say, building a legacy, building a business, building empire, or however you want to put it. Let's break brand down. Can you break that down for us, for our viewers?
Yes, absolutely. So when we talk about personal brand, we're talking about you as the individual. You are the brand, and it's important that you become the CEO of the brand called you. The personal brand is literally how other people experience you. It's the relationship that they have with you, the connection that they build with you. It's the means by which you're remembered. Your personal brand is your ability to really be able to articulate your value, be
Mm,
authentic, and stand out in this crowded marketplace
mhm.
so that you can then achieve the desired goals you need. But it's helping other people know the value that you have to deliver. See, where we go wrong is people think the personal brand is all about them. It's not about you from the sense of me, 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 me. It's
Mhm.
about the value you can deliver to others and how you can help them to achieve their desired goals. It's the promise that you deliver. Jeff Bezos said it best, though. Your personal brand, yes, while it's your reputation, your image, the perception that people have about you, he said your personal brand is what people say about you when you leave the room. And when
Mm,
you leave the room and they're gossiping, because they will, right? Is
well,
it positive or is it negative? That's
I
your
love that. So I remember years ago working for a Fortune 500 bank. I won't mention the name. We did something called an exercise, and it was a book called, like you just said, you are the CEO of your, just say yourself.
mm-hmm,
Your and when I heard in there, Yolanda, I heard legacy, right?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
You're creating a legacy
mm-hmm.
when you're no longer here on earth, because you talked about being in the rooms, but when you're no longer here on earth, there's something that people will remember you by, right?
Yes, yes.
And Dr. Martin Luther King, we remember him as being an activist for civil rights and
Mm-hmm,
marching, and in other, great people that we know.
mm-hmm,
We remember some part or
mm-hmm,
something about them that when we hear it, or we hear their name, that it automatically associates them with that. So
that's
that's
right.
what I'm hearing. Like, instead of thinking about, the business part, when people hear your name, or when people hear even your company, what do they associate that with?
That's right.
And one of the things, I just had a conversation with my team members, or we text conversation. You know how you have text conversation.
Yes.
One thing that we represent is excellence for
Mm-hmm,
God, right?
mm-hmm. Yes.
So when you have that mindset that I'm just not going to do or produce or put anything out there, because my first audience is God. And if he doesn't approve of it, how do you think others will approve of it if he doesn't even approve of it? So thank you for that. And it really takes your mind off of, I need to be this type of person, or I got to do this, or it's
Mm-hmm.
about me, but it's about how your legacy, or what people see.
Yes.
It's almost, I can say this, Yolanda, your character.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's about your character and how people associate your company to your character. If
Yes.
you're a person that is all selfish, then that's why. And I know you talked about how you got started with this. You had a girls. I'm gonna just try to recap a little. You were a part of a girls organization,
Mhm, mhm.
right? And I
Yes.
And can you bring that part back up again? The starting of the why of your story, or why you're so passionate about this.
So it kind of linked with a couple things. One, it started, that's how I discovered personal branding. But the reason my why was predicated on the fact that although I was successful in the industry I was in, I was nowhere near where I should have been. And what I discovered mid-career is that I didn't have a coach, a sponsor, or a mentor. Mid-career, this is unheard of today. It should be, but no one ever told me that I needed one. No one ever told me it was important. And instead, I just had enough curiosity and intellect and initiative that I was able to figure it out. But it was through trial and error, no question about it. It wasn't because I had guidance. And so I often think, if I had had the guidance, where would that have led me? What path could I have been on? And here's the ha-ha. If you don't know what you don't know, that's one thing. But if somebody else does, then that's a competitive disadvantage for you. And so that was at the point that I said to myself, you know what? Now that I know, and once I started implementing the branding, steps that I sort of cultivated and the things I learned, and once I started getting coaches and mentors, and I started seeing things change and the trajectory in which my career started to take off, I said, I'm going to share this. I'm not going to be the one that keep it to myself. Instead, I want to shout it from the mountaintops and help people understand you need a brand. A lot of people think branding doesn't pertain to them. They think it's for the celebrities, the politicians, the athletes. But I'm here to tell you, in today's environment, in this digital environment that we live in, you must have a brand, because literally at the swipe of a key, at the scroll of a page, somebody is making a judgment about you. And if you're not telling your story, then someone else is.
Ooh, I love it.
Yeah, and that's the passion. That's where it came from. And it just drives me to want people to unlock that potential, because the benefits are so great. I mean, literally, studies suggest that if you have a powerful brand, you can earn up to 25% more than someone without one. So let's just hypothetically say you had $100,000 salary. Would you take another 25 grand more? I know I would.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, so there's tangible as well as non-tangible benefits to really being able to cultivate that brand.
Right. And you know what, Yolanda, I heard as you were speaking, I heard if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. And your brand represents your stand, yes, what you are standing for. What is it that you want to see? What is it that your focus point almost? Like, this is my focus point. Your focus point is brand, and making sure. I love that part where you say, if I can shout it from the mountaintop.
Yes.
You're shouting this out. Come on, everybody. How you react, what you do is a reflection of who you are as a person, your character, but it also represents your brand. I love it. I love it. So yeah. Yolanda, we are going to take a little break, but we're going to come back because I'm giving you a little homework. Okay. Until we come back. I want you to think of some nuggets that you can give to our viewers about how they can start to position their brand to be a transformation brand, because this culture we live in, we need some change agents.
Yes, we do.
We need some change agents. We can't have everybody doing the same or accepting what it's trying to offer us. So just a few little nuggets. We're asking Coach Yolanda,
yes,
to help us when we come back on how to be better at starting and representing ourselves as a brand. And we're going to go to an EGMG commercial right now.
Are you looking to elevate your brand into a business? Are you ready to use your voice of truth? Elevation Global Media Group is your one-stop shop for all things media. Elevation Global Media Group has you covered. They offer podcast production, graphic design for logos and websites, branding, marketing, and so much more. Head on over to elevationglobalmediagroup.com for more info or call 443-307-1241. That's 443-307-1241.
coming back to moving in the marketplace. And I know if you have been tuning in for the first half, we have Yolanda Smith with us, a brand strategist. This part right here is what we're calling, and we're still working out some kinks and working on pieces, but this is called the Sassy Cassie segment. And really, if I was to put this segment into words, it would just be about work ethics. Number one, we can't assume that everyone has business and work ethics, right? And the title is Keep Your Vision Close. And as I was thinking about this Keep Your Vision Close segment, I was thinking about, of course, Joseph, that told his brothers about a dream that God has given them. And they began to feel like this boy is not going to be ruling us or making us do things. And, you know, there was probably some insecurity there. And also that they wanted to keep him, as his dream indicated, for being a leader or in charge of them. And then I also thought about Nehemiah. When he was building the wall, there were certain things he needed, certain people he had to call on, as well as anyone else in the Bible. We can look at Moses, how he called for the skilled. When you keep your vision close, and this is what I want to tell you, why you have to keep your vision close, number one, is everyone is not going to understand your vision. So when you keep it close, that means you have to be intentional on who you tell it to and be prayerful who you can release it to. It has to be released at the right time. I'm telling you this because there are some mistakes I made in the beginning, back in 2020, when I launched EGMG. I thought that I could share my vision with everyone. But what I learned is some people doubted. You know, some people may have saw it for what they may have saw it at where it is right now, but they could not see it past there. And not only that, but some people thought it was so amazing that they began to try to reduplicate what I was doing, or try to reduplicate, because you can never reduplicate. When God gives you a vision, no one can ever reduplicate what God gave you, because that was a personal moment with God. But when you share, let's just say, when you share it with people not at the right time, then that will cause, you will see, I would say, vision thieves. There are vision thieves out there, y'all. So be prayerful and mindful of who you share your vision with, because everybody don't have business ethics. Everybody don't have a heart, and I'm going to bring the heart into this, where I cannot do this or I can't try to reduplicate this because she's doing it. And I'm going to tell you another way you can tell when a person, they can do the same thing, but when they don't invite you into the space, which they know they have gotten the idea from you in, that's a place of guilt, and they won't do it. They won't invite you into the space like you invited them into the space. So I just want you guys to keep your vision close. Keep it close to you and God. Pray about everything. Pray about who those people are that you should share it with. Surround yourself around people that not only are going to support you, but they're going to cheer you on, and they're going to see the vision for not where it is, but where God is taking you. So again, this is the Sassy Cassie segment. Thank you for tuning in. And let's bring Yolanda back in. Yolanda,
Wow.
There's another piece of this. It's called the Sassy Cassie segment. And I know you probably experienced it as well. Everybody don't have business ethics. They don't even, I mean, some people really, you could speak to them, or they can have a lot of knowledge. But when you look and they are trying to reduplicate, or they're trying to make you look, Yolanda, look, can I just tell you, businesswoman to businesswoman? I have had someone tell me, won't you give me that client? You can't handle them. I can handle it better. And I brought them into my space.
Wow.
So I contracted them. Instead of them working to help, they said, no, she doesn't know what she's doing in this. I can do it. So it looks like something itching, Yolanda. It looks like you want to say something about that.
First of all, I'm still back here on hold the vision close, okay? Because this is one of the things that I can share with you from a personal standpoint, and I'm being vulnerable here, is that I struggled with people close to me not supporting the vision, right, of what I wanted to do. And really, I felt resentment, and I felt some animosity, and I found myself very upset, because you would expect people that close to your inner circle to be your supporters. And then one day, within a week, I'm going to share this. One day it was TD Jakes that popped on and said, you should not be mad at them, not your spouse, not your parents, not your kids for not getting your vision, because God gave you the vision. He didn't give it to them. And that they will come along eventually. And then literally days later, I was in a setting, and Lisa Nichols, who is a motivational speaker, was speaking. I'd be darned if she didn't say the same thing. So I think the point there is that, whether you choose to share it or not, the point is it's your vision. God gave it to you, and you'll manifest it in the way it needs to be birthed. And you know what? They'll come along. As it relates to people wanting to, I call them poachers and nibblers, come into your space so they can poach off of your audience, poach off your clients, nibble on your content, and not be authentic and true to supporting and helping you to advance your mission. They're going to be there, they're going to be there. But one of the things we know for sure, and I used to be very guarded about my presentations, about the handouts and these things. No, you can't have my presentations. You can't have a copy of that. Finally, I got to the point where I said, take it. Because at the end of the day, you'll never deliver it like Yolanda the Brandthrupist. You know what? Take the information. Have at it. Because you can't deliver it the way I deliver it. And it's just when you feel that level of authenticity and confidence in yourself, those things then no longer tend to worry you. Because at the end of the day, if you think about how we need to operate, it's seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, right? And his wisdom. And I'm big right now, this year for me has been big on seeking wisdom, talking about wisdom and the power of wisdom, right? And we need to be pursuing wisdom, not possessions. We need to be chasing purpose, not chasing money, as we think about business and these sort of things. And so, it's the wisdom, because at the end of the day, we need to be learning from people, not sitting here trying to steal and take from, but learn from people, because a fool learns from his own mistakes. A wise man learns from other people, right?
Yes. Love it.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yolanda, that is so true, because wisdom is I love the way my bishop said, is skill for living. The skill you get to live is wisdom.
Yeah.
So so Yolanda, I want you to share also with our viewers what's next for you, where you're going to be, how can they get in contact with you, how can they support you?
Yeah, so I do a lot of things. So I am an international speaker. I'm also a coach, as well as I do corporate training. And so you can get in touch with me via my website, which is yolandamsmith.com, yolandamsmith.com, or you can definitely connect with me on social media. I'm on Instagram at branding4success. That's my business, Branding for Success. So it's branding4success, and as well on LinkedIn at Branding for Success as well. And what's next? I have been doing these 5-day challenges where I'm bringing in entrepreneurs, coaches, and professionals and giving them 5 challenging days of content and information to help them to not only build their brands, but build sustainable frameworks for their business so that they won't be one of those. Because as you know, most businesses are out of business within 5 years. And I'm trying to help people. I'm using that corporate expertise, if you will, and now saying, how can I help you to really be able to build sustainable strategies in your business so that you know exactly where you're going. You have a vision, but how are you going to get there? Because eventually the sales are going to run away from mama, daddy, and the friends, right? It's going to go away. And then what are you going to do?
Right. Yolanda, I'm so glad you said that, because we are coming up, we started Elevation Global Media Group during COVID. And I had someone tell me, I just want you to applaud yourself for still being open. Because there are a lot of people and a lot of businesses that have closed since 2020. And we are coming up on our 4th year this month. And I am giving God all glory and all praise, because he is the sustainer. But like you said, it's going to get, God is shifting our thinking, because you may have, like you said, of the mama, the daddies, the people supporting, but there has to be a bigger vision. And I'm glad you said that, where you are confident enough, because you have to be confident enough to know that I can sell this product to a global corporation, or I can sell this product to a major industry, and they will love it and they will buy into it. So thank you for that. Yolanda, thank you again for being with us. I also saw that you're going to be with Dr. Cheryl Wood.
I am, yes, March 16th in Atlanta, Georgia. Yeah, at the WBNC conference.
Okay, you guys, you're going to be in Atlanta?
Atlanta, come see us.
We're going to try to get her on this side, though, the DMV. We're going to try to get Yolanda on this side. And that's one of the dreams that God has given me, Yolanda. Have a big conference and invite those that were my guests in to speak, to do panels. And that is something that we are going to work on, and we're going to believe God for in the future. But I do want to thank you again for joining us. And I also, Yolanda, I don't want to put you on the spot, but can you say a prayer for some of our listeners concerning that fear of expanding their brand or seeking wisdom?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. Heavenly Father, we come to you today just giving you all the thanks and all the glory, because we know without you, we are nothing. God, I just ask that you touch this audience today and give them the power, the wisdom that you know is in them. Give them the divine presence to know that they are a brand and that their voice matters. God, shift them in ways that will allow them to be able to tell their story with a level of confidence, to be able to elevate their brand so that people know the value that they can deliver into this marketplace, into the lives that they are destined to touch. God, we know that it's all for your purpose and it's all for your good, and that we're not selfishly pursuing for ourselves. We just thank you for all the blessings that you've given to us. And we just ask that you continue to provide a hedge of protection around all your people. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
So you guys want to know how we make it? We make it because of Jesus. I mean, there's nothing that we can do on our own. He enlightens us. He empowers us. Even in the midst of when we're in pain, when we're in distress, our relationship with Christ is the one that is our anchor. It's our sure thing. You know how you need a sure thing? That's our sure thing. And that's exactly what Romans 9 says. If you openly declare that Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. He is waiting for you to invite him in. And I want to thank you again, Yolanda, for partnering with me on my relaunch of Moving in the Marketplace. And I want you guys to take this information, take this wisdom, take this knowledge, and grow. Keep moving in the marketplace. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for tuning into Moving in the Marketplace. Join us here on Elevate Your Life Talk Radio with your host, Cassandra Ferguson